Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. As you heard last night at the very tail end of the Hudson Valley Squares program, we were alerted to the fact that Metal Church vocalist Mike Howe passed away unexpectedly yesterday at the age of 55. Way too young. Mike, born August 21st, 1965 in Taylor, Michigan. He's actually been living in Eureka, California for a number of years. Mike was originally the lead singer for a thrash band signed to Metal Blade Records called Heretic, which only stayed together for one album and then disbanded when Mike was asked to join Metal Church in 1988, of course, for the classic album Blessing in Disguise, which came out in 1989. All right, that's Mike there with the long hair. He later cut the hair. He's been having very short hair in recent years. An excellent album. Mike would record 3 albums with Metal Church. Subsequently, Blessing in Disguise being the first, The Human Factor, and Hanging in the Balance. Okay, before the band would kind of disband once again. Metal Church has had a lot of stops and starts throughout their career, but man, what a singer, what a front man. I mean, the guy was a house of fire on stage and had this amazing voice. He could shriek and scream, but boy, did he just have this just commanding, powerful voice, whether it be, singing the ultra crunchy classic metal tracks that Metal Church had done, or whether they were doing the faster, thrashy things. I mean, he could scream, he could do the mid-pace stuff, he could get very melodic when he wanted to. I mean, the guy was like the total package, right? So the band would reunite, excuse me, early in the morning. Band would reunite would reunite with him on vocals in 2016 for XI or 11. Okay, really, really great. I don't even want to call it a comeback album, but I guess, a comeback with Mike as lead vocalist once again, certainly. So there he is, front and center right there. Again, you can see with the much shorter hair. My good friend Kurt Vanderhoof and the rest of the band. And they would go on to record a couple more albums with him before his passing. So we would have the Damned If You Do album, which was released in 2018. That was the last real full studio album we had from The Vault, which came out in 2020, which had a couple of new tracks, some leftover stuff, some live stuff. So that was kind of like a sort of a compilation of new and unused things. That would be the last thing we would see from the band before the pandemic, with Mike on vocals. And, You've seen Kurt here on the channel, and Mr. Vanderhoof has talked about how they were writing new material for the next Metal Church album, and now this happens. So very, very sad, very, very sad. Especially you hate to see anybody pass away at any age, right? But Mike's my age, right? And so unexpectedly, and in such great health. The guy was just so healthy. And so you never know, folks. You never know. Live each day and just pray for the next day. That's kind of all you can do. And especially as you get over 50, it's because you just never know. You never know what curveballs life can throw at you. So I do want to send my condolences to the Metal Church family, to Mike's family and friends, to Kurt Vanderhoof. Thinking of you, buddy. I know this is a tough time. I was actually going to ask Kurt if he wanted to come on the show, but I know this only just happened yesterday, so I think going to give them all a little bit of respect and a little bit of space and let them deal with this tragedy of losing their friend and front man. And maybe we'll catch up with Kurt in a couple weeks or a month or so, and we can talk a little bit about where this leaves Metal Church going forward. But today we mourn the loss of Mike Howe, one of the great heavy metal vocalists of the last 30 plus years, without a doubt. Was seeing posts on Facebook this morning from my other good friend Chris Caffrey, who had the opportunity to tour with Metal Church and work with Mike, and he had nothing but great things to say about him as a person and as far as for his talents on stage as well. So, yeah, tragic loss. So, once again, he leaves behind the legacy of Breaking Point, the album from Heretic in 1988. With Metal Church, you've got Blessing in Disguise from 89, The Human Factor 91, Hanging in the Balance 93, 11 from 2016, and there's the Classic Live from 2017, Damned If You Do 2018, and From the Vault in 2020. So not a huge discography, but some great stuff there for sure. So, Mike Howe, rest in peace, leaves us all too soon on July the 26th, 2021, born August 21st, 1965. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're on YouTube all the damn time. Stay tuned for more programming coming up on the channel. Tonight, we've got In the Prague Seat. We've got favorite bands A to Z coming up right after this, and tomorrow is What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility Day, the Monsters Den Thursday, and then back at the Funhouse Friday morning with Martin Popoff ranking the albums of King's X. So lots of stuff happening. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching. Go out and listen to some Metal Church today in honor of Mike Howe, who leaves us way too soon. Rest in peace, Mike. Thanks for watching, everybody.